right here, what it's doing. So it's taking a droplet of milk, moving it out to the cartridge. You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm just waiting on the UPS guy to show up. He's dropping my packages off directly to here, but I'm going through some stuff and I thought this was pretty cool. So this is actually the title for the white truck. Like the paper and everything's cool. But what I didn't notice ever was, so it's a 78. In 1990, the truck was sold, let's see, sold to Witta Construction Inc. in Fostoria, Ohio. It came out of Haynes and Shaw in Savannah, Tennessee. So they paid $5,000 for the truck in 1990. And well, by the time the transfer fee, I paid $54.06. So in 30 some years, that truck didn't lose any value. Granted, you know, inflation and everything else changes, but still, that was pretty, I thought that was pretty wild, that something like that. But pretty neat, the papers. So doing all my titles, getting everything ready, since I did apply for farm plates. And there is some comments that were said to my father, I guess, from his directors who watch the channel, that my trucks don't have inspection stickers. It's kind of hard to get an inspection sticker if I don't have a registration for the truck. So been running the farm's actual plates, and we don't actually have to run plates if we're within 10 miles of the field, stuff like that. So but because I'm doing more and more of my own stuff, I need to get my own plates. So I applied for that. Also working on my CDL still. Got to get all that done. Yeah, I had to go back, and there was a bill from 2015 that never got told to me, so I'm dealing with that with the RMV. Massachusetts, they call them an RMV, not a DMV, but yeah, wait on Mike for, he's got a big order, so we're going to see what actually comes in, and then I got to get to work for some, and then we'll be shipping all those orders out later. Yanko's sleeping so that he'll be prepared to help me ship orders. Oh, yes, sir. Wait, why do you go by? Where are you going? Where are you going? We have multiple UPS guys, so I didn't know if that was him. But it was. He texted me. He's got 4 packages that are time committed. Mine are not time committed, so they have to be there before a certain time of the day. So he's dropping those, and then he will be back. It's going to be a big shipment. So usually I ship anything to the farm, because if I'm not here, it doesn't sit out in the weather. Somebody doesn't take it, things like that. But since I'm here and literally loading all these packages back into my van, bringing them back here, just doesn't make any sense. So I said, I'll go into work late this morning. I got flexibility there, and then drop them off, and then they're here. So. Woo-hoo. There you go.
With Wi-Fi speeds faster than a gig. Or get started with Xfinity Internet for $39.99 a month for 24 months with a 1-year contract. This offer ends March 21st, so go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Performance Pro 200 megabits per second customers only. Equipment taxes and fees extra and subject to change.
Yeah, goes down this side, and back all this stuff on the shelf.
Gotta keep you busy, right? I'm pretty out of shape.
I don't know how many more we got.
Maybe that's it. You got more?
That's it.
That's it? Alrighty, because I know somebody's gonna give me a comment on my stairs. I did not paint those. They've been like that for like 10, 15 years. But we got the hookup. So my UPS driver is the man. Got him dropped off here. 27 boxes. And we have it all. So if you haven't hit the store up, do it. We got short sleeve shirts. We got long sleeve shirts. We got white shirts. I even got some vests. I don't know if I'm going to throw them on. I've been giving them out to people. The vests are actually pretty baller. Some of them are gray. Some of them are not. Let me pull them out for you guys. I've been giving them out to people who help me. So, yeah. Maybe we'll hook somebody up with some of those. But Carhartts were all pre-ordered, unless there's a few sizes that didn't. I ordered a few extras. But we got... Oh, too much exercise. What do we got going on in this box? More black sleeve shirts. Or black shirts. Oh, these are... Nope, those are short sleeves. So, but hit up the store. All the orders will be going out. Once I get done with work, I'll be packaging orders, get inventory checked, and going from there. But holy smokes. I appreciate everybody who's been a part of this. So duffyag.com, go hit it up, buy yourself some merch, help support the cause. Yeah, you ready to go work? Yeah, we gotta go work. We got 2 farms to go visit. So I'm back at Yukon. You guys saw me in a previous video. This is Herd Navigator opened up, so it's actually dropping sticks out. I got a little bit of an issue, so it's taking a sample. It's actually moving the carousel, so I got a little bit of an issue with the wash. So what this box down here does is it actually takes the sample of milk, supplies any wash detergent, wash water, but this carousel tells it where to go. So it's pumping milk through, and then it cleans with water or air, then it puts water, then it puts air again. So you can see right here and right here what it's doing. So it's taking a droplet of milk, moving it out to the cartridge. So this is supposed to be climate controlled and everything else. I got it opened up because you can see this little line is white, so there's some buildup on it. What I think my big buildup was, the needle that puts it in has some buildup, so I switched that out. I'll get this one clean, but I figured I'd show you guys the guts of what I looked at the other day. We saw that the wash temperatures were a little bit low. Here, I'll pull it up on the computer to show you what's actually going on. So, currently, climate not okay and cleaning not okay. Climate's not okay because I got it open right now. Cleaning not okay, but it's at 97% accuracy as far as the actual cow numbers. So this shows you what it's doing for samples. So urea, we're at 100%, and it could be for any reason why it doesn't actually take a sample. So we're, well, 98% now. So we're damn close to being perfect. And if it doesn't get a sample of a cow, it actually takes another one. But I figured I'd show you the guts of what is inside the box, and I'll get back to work figuring out exactly. I'm gonna flush that line and go from there. But yeah, little insight of what I actually do. This stuff's a little complex, but like I said previously, there's only 3 of these in the States currently, and we have 2 of them. The other one is at Horde's Dairyman in Wisconsin. I figure I better give a better overview of what Herd Navigator really is. So I was there solving a wash issue. We had a little bit of buildup. We think that started prior, and it's just built up because it never was cleaned all the way. Which isn't a big deal. It tells you here's the start temp, here's the end temp, here's what's going on. That box, that blue box that I had open, that is a lab in a box. It was built by Foss Pharmaceuticals, and LawTech and DeLaValve. It was a 3-way partnership of it. Now DeLaValve owns the whole project. So we have 2 robots there that are feeding the bottom box, which is a sample intake. So the robots take out specific amount of milk, and it knows how much milk, and agitates it in the receiver jar, pulls milk as it pumps. So it 80 milliliters, takes 80 milliliters out. From there, it transfers it into that room in the small box, which is a sample intake. So as the sample comes into that small box, there's a bubble detector that sees if it's liquid or if it's air through that line. That's why we alternate from liquid to air to liquid every time you change samples, you wash, you rinse the line. So when it sees that it's liquid, it pinches that valve. At that point, the carousel underneath rotates over to it, locks up with it, and then it opens the pinch valve, takes the sample through the sample intake. There is two bubble detectors after the milk pump, so it knows when it has enough length between there, because everything is by length and by time, that it has a big enough sample to take up to the herd navigator box, which is the analyzer. So at that point, it will stop and it will switch to air. So it has an air gap in between. From there, it will switch to water once it sees both bubble detectors actually having air in it. When that milk sample gets up into the analyzer, it then knows exactly what it's going to test for. So progesterone, urea, LDH, and what we're using it for. So like a fresh cow, it builds a biomodel of her ketosis level, which is energy level. So if a dry cow or a fresh cow, if she's coming into milk and she doesn't have enough energy, she's going to crash. And then we're trying to give them calcium and everything else like this. So this will tell you, hey, this cow is slowly elevating, or hey, this cow is spiked, and it will start alarming you. And then afterwards, it's going to tell you, hey, this cow is treated, she's coming back down. So we do that. We do it for repo. So as far as knowing cows are going to come into heat 48 hours in advance, knowing if a cow is actually cycling well. So you see the whole cycle of her reproduction. Wow, I'm struggling with that. Curve. And you can say, okay, that was a good cycle. That was a good curve. Or no, something's going on. At that point, you say, okay, let's have a vet come check. If a cow is cystic, if a cow's just not cycling at all. So if you're trying to get a cow pregnant, and in the normal world without it, you could be trying to breed that cow and nothing happened. Synchronizing that animal, and you're just wasting your money. So Herd Navigator is 99.99% on point. And then let's see what else we got going on. Mastitis detection on that side of it. Urea level for the whole herd. So you know if your bunk is balanced right, and it does that on a group of cows in each group throughout their lactation. So everything in that is its own brain. It knows how to think, hey, this cow is supposed to be coming up for a heat cycle. Start sampling more aggressively. Hey, it's past, relax a little bit. So that's the criteria is all built in, and you can adjust it based on what you want to look at. But Herd Navigator is absolutely fantastic tool. I think I've said in previous videos, Canada has a ton of them. Europe has a ton of them. The US was slow to get onto it. In Europe and in Canada, you can put them on a parlor. US, you can't. So, and that's just because of the regulations. So everything that we have as far as robots and milking equipment in the US is far more regulated than the rest of the world. So we have to have bleed, block, bleed on all of our valves. That includes Herd Navigator, and that was, hey, what goes on with the milk? How do you separate it out? So from University of Connecticut's our classic robots, so pre-2018. Is it 18 or 19? 18. pre-2018 robots, such as the ones we have. Valley Side is a V300, which is the new model. So the sample outtake that is actually on the robot's different. But a lot of this has been learning hands-on, and hey, something goes wrong and we figure it out. It can be very tedious because, like, if you're sampling a cow or you're waiting for something to check, you milk a cow, she takes her 6-7 minutes, and then the next cow comes in, and it might not sample the next cow based on what the biomodel needs. But it's a lot of learning. So very neat. If you're in the dairy industry, you'll understand a lot more of what I just said and how much of a tool it can be. Granted, in this area, we have university, or Tufts University, the vet side of it. So a lot of the dairies actually use Tufts and have students and things like that. So the vets aren't just vets. They actually do teaching and everything else like that. So they're very open to, hey, how can we use this? How can we do that? A lot of people, when Herd Navigator first came out, vets were like, oh, you're taking our jobs, this and that. A vet, when you get done with vet school, you're what? $600,000, $800,000 in debt. You don't want to be palpating cows. So arming cows to say if they're pregnant or not. That's not what you went to school for. You went to school for basically being an advisor, being an assistant to the dairyman, as far as, hey, here's your data, here's what you could do better. The nitty gritty, dirty stuff, that's not really why vets went to school. At least that's every vet I've talked to. So very cool stuff, but I figured I was there, and we saw it in previous videos that I had the box open, and as far as the actual farm, their daily routine, they walk past it and it says, hey, we need detergent, hey, we need diluent, which is diluents dropped on the sticks, or hey, we need the sticks, or desiccant. Desiccant is for the climate. And like I said, there's four different sticks that get put in it, and they're just cartridges of sticks. You slide them in, press the button, circles the carousel, put the next one in, and then it's happy, and along it goes. So it's very complex, but very intelligent, and it's the future of milking cows, and it makes robots really work very well in my eyes, because it's a tool that most people never realize they're missing stuff until they get it. So like ketosis levels, and your repo side of it just goes through the roof, because you're breeding the right cows, you're isolating the problem cows, you're figuring out what's really wrong. Yeah, it's cool. And it's cool that we have, at one point we were the only ones for like a year in the US. So we were flying solo, but it was cool. Now with two of them, and there's one in the Wisconsin, like I said, at Hordes. It's definitely, there's more to come. We see that more people have them on a waiting list, but when you put a robot in, your data overload, and the cows have to adjust, but your data overload is like mind-blowing. So if we put this into the mix with it, it's very challenging. So you wait 6 months from when you put the robots in, start up, to when you do that. And it takes a technician to be able to babysit it at points and check in on it. My coworker actually checks every day on it, so that if we see there's an issue, because if you let it go, your biomodel slowly falls apart, and then you got to start back over. It doesn't know where the cows are at in their cycles. So it's a laboratory in a box, and that's really what it is, that they then put on a farm. So you take something that's very precise and should be in a very controlled environment, and then you put it into a place that is never controlled, that is very challenging to have day to day the same. That's why we do put them in rooms that are supposed to stay heated and stay somewhat normal. Because yeah, anything in a dairy barn, you can expect it to get wet, freeze, get hot. It's just the nature of it. Alrighty, back to it. So I appreciate you guys watching on this, and if you got any questions on Herd Navigator, drop it below. I can go into more depth of what it really is if some people want to know. Running behind now, but we're gonna get after this. So I got just over 100 orders to fulfill. Here's some of the 2X and 3X shirts, sweatshirts, because I could not get 2 or 3X Carhartts in black. But here they are in gray. Which I like it. I definitely like it. Here's Gildan in black. So Gildan is available on the site. A lot of the Carhartt stuff was pre-order. Yeah, we got t-shirts, we got all sorts of stuff. So I got to get some of this stuff organized and get orders flowing. So yeah, we got the white. I got stuff everywhere. These are just empty boxes from times past, but those are all full. We're gonna, yeah, we gotta get going. So appreciate you guys watching along today. Some insight in what I do. Merch is all in, so we're gonna get these orders out. So hit up the merch store, duffyag.com. Help the channel out. Yeah, you guys are making it all happen.